One is ignoring all the hard ways of making a little bit of money and focusing on the easier ways to make a lot. I'm ignoring all the hard ways of making a little bit of money and focusing on the easier ways to make a lot. I'm ignoring all the hard ways of making a little bit of money and focusing on the easier way to make a lot. One is ignoring all the hard ways to make a little bit of money and focusing on the easier ways to make a lot. One is ignoring all the hard ways of making a little bit of money and focusing on the easier ways to make a lot. These videos, 50 videos posted 6 hours apart, is to burn it into one's mind, to etch it into one's DNA, that it's easier to make a lot of money in a short period of time than it is to make a little money in a long period of time. From a YouTube video short titled My First Financial Breakthrough from Dr. Myron Golden. So this is an action taken on, if you can etch this in your DNA. So these videos is an effort to etch into one's DNA that it's easier to make a lot of money over a short period of time than it is to make a little money over a long period of time by actually ignoring all the hard ways to make a little bit of money and focusing on the easier ways to make a lot. By asking you to donate $150 to this building, do 12-step meetings, martial arts, yoga, meditation. We got 3 apartment suites in the back. We got another 2-family home, transitional house for men part, the nonprofit 501(c). So donate $150 there, or just outright send me $150. Send me $150, right? That'll afford me a day's worth of work. So I'm just asking you to grant me a day's worth of work. What I would do at that time is let me put it this way. I don't work for a living, but I live to work. So I'm always moving, working, doing something. And I don't get paid money, not necessarily doing it. But when the bills do need to get paid, I Uber drive, which is the third point. Use one's referral code in the description area. Circulate it, use it, share it. One's Uber referral code. And that's, if that's the drive for Uber. I don't like to push that because I realize if you don't love the drive, it ain't really for you. Some people just not get driving. Well, not good drive, but they just don't like driving that much. So this is one way that one is focusing on the easier ways to make a lot, and that's to actually ask for the money. All right. Now, interwoven into these affirmations, these videos, to etch it to one's DNA, to burn it into one's mind, that it's an affirmation that I am ignoring all the hard ways of making a little bit of money and focusing on the easy ways to make a lot. It's kind of like a journal. I try to get one topic. This one is resentment is the #1 offender.com. It's about to expire. I actually bought a domain name last November. And by the way, it is November 23rd, 2025, Sunday. I'm almost finished schedule posting the 50 videos for this. Hope I ain't making a lot of clicking noise when I move. Tit. What comes at the end of a tit? But I'm not going to go into it now because I've been living in bliss. Tit, bliss sometimes is turned into piss, but it hasn't been like that in a while. I think resentment is in jail. I wish resentment was dead. I literally do. But that wish that resentment be dead is really not the truth. not at least objectively. Subjectively, maybe, when emotions are high and intelligence is low, and I got that wishing death upon a person, place, thing, or situation from a movie. That's what made it okay for me to actually do that, as opposed to the voices inside my head from growing up. You should never do this. You should never do this. They're like saying you should never be rich. You should never be independent, financially independent, or interdependent, so to speak. You should always be dependent on us, this collective group, this love for money, because you gonna serve us for life. You're a slave. No, I don't say that. No, I'm just going to. But at any rate, the truth of the matter, and I got these from being in these rooms, Joe and Charlie tapes. Joe and Charlie uh, tapes, Big Book Study, mentioned the ability to see the truth. So when emotions high, intelligence is low, and my intelligence isn't that high to begin with, then I'm wishing that resentment be dead, right? But the truth is that I want resentment to quit fooling with me. I want resentment to go away and never come back. Resentment to go away, but always tend to come back, right? So one actually was like, well, since one is free, one decided, well, the song Scarface by the Ghetto Boys. It's a song called Scarface by the Ghetto Boys. And he talks about, I had to leave everything I ever worked for, ... And that's what happened. I pretty much left the building. The apartment upstairs, I didn't tell, I told one person, I'm gonna try to keep it like that too, right? I thought the man that understands paradigm. Upstairs, storefront apartment, approaching Leverett Winter, I live here. That's my story, right? But I cleared everything out and I started the upstairs, Bickerstaff Saywell House project. Same scenario, the intangible life, intangible money. I live to work. My work worthiness, even at this age, energy level. Master Greg is telling me that I need to get unstuck and start practicing because health he said, don't wait till your health start declining. I gotta ignore that too because somebody else taught me that I was trying to concern and make preparations for when I get old and have to be in a nursing home and have to have my diaper changed and all that kind of stuff. And somebody politely reminded me and told me that that doesn't happen to everybody. It doesn't have to happen to me. And it doesn't have to be like where I die quickly or die from an accident so I don't get old, but my body might not go through those certain kind of deteriorations where there's a fight to keep things functioning or where I'm dependent. And you know what? Deep down, it's easier to earn a lot of money in a short period of time than it is to earn a little money in a long period of time. I almost forgot. Resentment is the number one offender. One resentment is commercials and television with sitcoms. Because that's remind me when I was a defeated man. You know, I was discharged from the United States Navy with other than honorable discharge and do a courts martial for being unauthorized absent. And there's only one circumstance is when I shot Christopher Stanley with the intent to maim, disfigure, or kill. That's the wording that one used after only hearing it once from the police officers in Harlem, New York, back on April 21st, 1994. But I got clean and sober April 2nd, 2012 is my sobriety date. And one of the things I did instead of explaining or even feeling like or an explanation of that event to anyone, that's what humility is, the perpetual quietness of the heart. It is to have no troubles, it is never to be fretted or vexed, irritated or sore, to wonder at nothing that is done to me, to feel nothing that is done against me, which means I don't owe you an explanation. I don't even feel like I owe you an explanation.